relaxed. Breathing one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Hands to tummy, head to the floor. Make sure that your hair is not interfering with a nice long neck on the floor. And you can go back into butterfly here if you like, with the soles of the feet together. If it's too strenuous on your hips, you can always lie with your knees together and your feet a little bit wider apart as an alternative posture. Hands on the tummy, feeling the movement of your belly as you breathe, softening your face. Big inhales into the belly, the ribs, the heart. Big exhale, releasing all the air, all the tension. Big inhale into the tummy, the ribs, the heart. Exhale, let your body melt down as you breathe. Hands under the thighs to help draw the knees together and up into the chest. Hands on the knees to rock the back. And be generous with it. Bring the elbows all the way down to the floor. Turn the knees in circles if that feels nice. Ensure that the neck stays long on the ground. You can move the knees in opposite circles. Just play with massaging your lower back on the floor. Gently opening the feet as wide apart as the mat, or even wider if that's comfortable, and letting the knees sink down towards the left side. Breathing, relaxing, turning your head out to the right. And if you prefer, you can open your arms out wide, straight across at shoulder height, and breathe, and your knees and feet apart, twist. For those of you who are quite flexible and the right knee is close to the ground, you can always go into a variation of putting your left ankle on top of your right knee, but move slowly and carefully, and if there's any discomfort in that knee whatsoever, you take yourself back out again, come to a gentler level. Find the place where you can breathe. Anytime you want to come out, squeeze the tummy in, inhale, draw the knees up, and you can just rock straight over to the other side if you want. Turning the head, opening the arms. If you feel like you need to release your back between going from one side to the other, you can always draw the knees into your heart. Gently circle the knees again. And then put your feet back to wide apart as the mat and sink the knees to the other side. Relax your face. Feel that cheekbone pressing down towards the floor, opening the neck, opening the spine. As the knees sink down to the side, you'll feel your lower back starting to move away from the ground. As your body opens, your back will sink down towards the floor as well. Opening the knees back to center, squeeze tummy, draw them into your heart. Gently release yourself from the posture if you need to. And just exhale, forehead up to the knees, reaching down the insides of the legs, holding on to the soles of the feet. And if you can, head returns to the floor. Your heels are directly above your knees. And if you can't hold your feet, you can hold lower down, either the calves or behind the knees. Make sure that neck is long. Press your lower back and your tailbone down into the floor. And as you breathe, you'll feel your knees moving away from you on the inhale, and you can draw the feet down on the exhale, releasing from that window posture anytime you need to. Gently sinking your feet down to the floor. If you need to release further, you can draw one knee in, stretch that leg out, hands behind the knee, flex the foot, send the heel up towards the ceiling. You can slide the hands further up the leg, but keep the head gently on the floor. Squeeze the knee into your heart. Gently releasing, moving to the other side again. Right knee into the heart, flex the foot, stretch. Just gently exploring the range of motion through that leg. Don't let your head pick up off the floor though. Placing both feet down, moving the heels closer in towards you, nice long neck, hands by the hips. Gently starting to roll yourself into spinal lift. So your knees should be right above your heels. Make sure your toes aren't turning outwards or turning inwards. Your toes should all be parallel, pointing towards the end of the mat. Breathing into your spine. Keeping that neck nice and long. and only rolling as high as is comfortable. You can come out anytime you want, one vertebra at a time, rolling from the top back down to the bottom of the spine. This is a back arch, so try to neutralize the lower back by squeezing the pubic bone up towards the ceiling, tucking the tummy in. And as you roll down, try to maintain that tucked posture through the pelvis, so your buttocks are the last thing to hit the floor, gently drawing the knees in, forehead up towards the knees in a counter pose. And if your head doesn't stay up by itself, if it falls back in a straight line, just interlink the fingers around the back of the head to hold the neck safely. If you want more, if the head stays forwards by itself, you can reach the hands forwards. And if you really want more, you can inhale and send the heels and the hands, if you like, up towards the ceiling. So there's always a deeper place or a gentler place that you can go to. Choose the level where you can breathe, where you feel good, and you can take yourself out anytime you want. Gentle breath, holding behind the knees, swinging the feet over the face, and rocking up into the boat. Holding behind the knees, balancing on your two sit bones, and finding the level that suits you. You can hold the legs, roll those shoulders back and down, drop that shin to neutral. Or if you want more work, again, you can reach the hands straight forwards. Coming out whenever you need to, rocking around, moving onto the hands and the knees into the cat pose. Toes tuck under to stretch out those tight feet. Make sure your arms and your thighs are straight up and down. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the head under, squeeze the tailbone under. Inhaling to cow, trying to touch the back of your head to your tailbone. Exhale to cat, squeeze out the breath, strong tummy, push into your hands. Inhale to cow, push into the hands, but open the heart to the front. Exhaling up, tuck the head under, forehead tries to touch pubic bone. Inhaling down to a neutral spine, reaching up through the left hand, moving into a beautiful windmill cat. Try not to collapse through the bottom shoulder. Keep some space between the ear and the shoulder, pressing into the hand and adjusting your head for comfort. Sweeping down whenever you want, squeezing the tummy, inhaling up to the other side, feeling that lovely twist through the torso. You can look up if your neck likes that. If it's too pinchy or strenuous, look straight out to the side or down at the hand on the floor. And again, exhale yourself out whenever you want, untuck toes, and if your knees can handle it, sink yourself down to the child pose. You can have your head stacked on your hands or your fists, leave the hands released ahead of you, or go into classical child with the hands beside the ankles, elbows bent out to the side and drifting down towards the floor. This allows the shoulders to just ooze forwards over the knees, like honey dripping off the end of a spoon. Make sure your forehead is on the floor. If you need to turn your head to one side, that means you've got too much stress in the back of the neck, and you need to put your hands or your fists underneath your forehead. Breathe and relax in your child pose. And then gently sweep the hands to the front end of the mat. Squeeze your tummy in and gradually roll yourself up into sitting on the heels. If this hurts your knees or your feet, please don't stay in this place. Sitting in your hero, roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale all the way up, reach up. Palms together, sit all the way back down, buttocks to heels, hands come down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, forward fold, forehead returns to the ground. If you need to have your hands under you for support, that's fine. Sweep your hands forward and ahead of you. Look at your hands, they're shoulder width apart. Scoot through. All the way down, hands under shoulders. If you need to adjust yourself on your mat so that your face is on your mat, make sure that you do so. As you see here, it's good to learn the territory of your mat. So if you ever wind up in a very snug yoga class with a lot of people, you're not going to accidentally be kicking your neighbor or crawling onto your other neighbor's mat. Again, inhale, reaching up, exhale, hands float down to heart level. Take yourself up, inhale up, Exhale.